So hello there, fellow interneters and worldwide webbers. Campy here, and I want to show you how I cut that cable. Not that cable, this cable. Oh, how did that get there? Okay, well, moving on. So I want to show you how I cut the cable and entered the world of streaming. So actually, funny story, this all started when my mom, yes, my mom cut the cable herself. Said she was tired of paying for this expensive cable service and she wanted to do something a little bit less expensive, or a lot of bit less expensive. I ended up helping her out and she did all the research, she did all the work, but I just ended up installing, some of the devices for her and getting it going. So I thought about it for a few minutes, after I did that. And it's like, I set up her service and I was like, wow, this is interesting. This might be something that maybe I want to do. Why do I want to pay so much money for my satellite? Because I was on satellite at the time. Why would I want to pay that much money when I can do what my mom did? And it wasn't that hard. So even I was waiting way too long to make that switch. So when I was thinking about why I was paying so much and not really doing anything about it, that began basically my journey into the whole wireless, streaming, service type thingy. Meaning I no longer have satellite or cable. First thing I did, of course, is I went back and I remember looking at what my mom was going to be paying for some of her services, and I looked at my own services and I went, this is a no-brainer. Why not just go ahead and do the switch? It's going to be quite a bit less expensive than what I'm paying now. Additionally, I reviewed what my wife and I were watching, what we liked, what we were viewing, and kind of put some ideas together on what kind of services I wanted to go through and select and use for my own services related to, the TV, to live TV, or whatever, to sports, to whatever it was that I was, and she and I were more entertained by. We were going to try and hone in our selections based on those. So, as you know, hopefully, in one of my previous videos, I just moved. So I need internet. That's the one thing I don't have. Again, moving to a new house. So what I did was I selected my internet, and with the basis of what I was going to be doing, I needed to get internet like I had in my old home. Now, in my old home, I had the giga internet, giga 1,000 megabits per second speed-wise, very fast. Granted, it's not exactly 1,000. Sometimes it's nowhere near it, but it's very fast internet, and that's what I wanted to get. So I got the same service. So basically, related to the cost-wise, I am paying pretty much exactly the same that I paid in my old home for my internet. So I got my internet, and that's the one thing I had to do, was get internet, and I had to get fast internet, because I was going to start streaming. The next thing I did is I went ahead and I compared all the streaming packages related to what we were going to want to get. Even some other packages to kind of help maybe jar me a little bit to say, hey, do I want to go in this direction instead of this direction? And what I mean by that is, do I want to stay with live, or do I want to go with the live TV option, the streaming, or do I want to just go with the entertainment portion of it and not worry about the live? There's a big price difference between the two. So with us, we decided that we wanted to go with the live TV option. It does make it a bit more expensive, but what my wife and I watch, yes, we could record, and we do record some things. I know that you can get them in other options, but it's just a little more convenient for us in what we use and what we do. So we decided we were going to go ahead, just for now, and get the live TV option. It does make it more expensive, but that's the route we were heading into. Again, what I did was, and you can see here, I'll show here in a second, I have an Excel sheet that I put together. It was a template that I got online that was used for something else, but I turned it into what I needed it for, and I ranked it basically throughout all the types of services and processes of what I was looking for in the internet service the providers, not the internet service provider, but our streaming provider. Leaning more towards live TV. I did put in some Netflix and a few other options to put in there just to compare, but to consider maybe do we want to step away from the live side, or even do we want to go full blown and get the live version and also get like a Netflix and additionally something else added to our process of our viewing process, I guess you could say. We wanted to consider multitudes of options. So if you look down and we scroll down to the bottom of the sheet, it shows a score. So I gave points basically to, you know, does it have live streaming? Does it have a DVR? Is the DVR free? DVR, again, for anybody that's looking, it's a digital video recorder. Most of you guys know that, but if you don't, it's just it's like a VCR for your digital products. It's built in online, so you can record and you can come back and play it later. I also wanted to look and see if they had other packages that could be added to it, and that would give a couple extra points in my scoring scale, because what you don't want to do is get one service and then realize you have to go somewhere else and get another service somewhere else and somewhere else. And what I don't want to be doing is bouncing around between other programs just to get what I want to watch on the TV. I'd like to get one kind of service or grouping of a service so that I can, you know, minimize my moving to different areas to watch whatever it is that we wanted to watch. One of the questions that might come up, and it is a good question, and I agree to many extents, is why not get streaming packages like a Hulu or a Netflix or Prime Video, and then just get an HD antenna and get your local channels that way. Because there's other things and programs that I wanted to watch other than just the local channels, and additionally, I do have actually an HD antenna. Over the air, you know, the one you plug in the back of your TV and you can get free live TV. I do have an HD antenna that will pull my local channels, but I wasn't super enthused with the service totally. But I will tell you this, if you are not a big fan of the live TV, you don't care so much about the news because you can get it on the internet. Who does really want to see the news? I mean, it's doom and gloom all the time, right? But let's just say you're not, and just for your option, if you're not a big fan or you don't need that live TV option and you can get all your live fix if you need to later, then this may be the best option, and it drops the price significantly. If you get away from the live TV option and you go ahead and get yourself an HD over-the-air antenna, you'll get your live local channels. That way, if you want to switch to those, you'll have to switch out of your streaming service to get to your antenna, but that's not that hard. But it's another service you have to switch to. It's not a service, but it's a channel, basically. Other than that, that will actually, if you prefer that and you can do that, that will drop your price a lot, actually, in, you know, your services, because live TV streaming services are usually quite expensive. So like I said, I made this Excel sheet, I put everything in, I put all the scores, and if you look down here at the bottom, YouTube TV came out to be the best one for me. I've never had Netflix, I've never had a streaming service set up. So when I went and looked at all these options, it was, I'm going to do YouTube TV. It's basically across the board, it's got everything I think that I'm going to need right now. And don't get me wrong, I've already experienced the YouTube TV for about a couple of weeks now. I will do a review later on just the YouTube or just the streaming services that I've received. So when I picked the YouTube TV, I was looking at other options in there. You can see that there was HBO Max, there was Netflix, there's Hulu, and there's different options for the Hulu, the two different options. But one of the cool things that I was happy about was I was looking at getting HBO. We like our HBO. We like some of the shows on there. We also like some Showtime and some other stuff, some services or some programs on there. But when I got my internet, it actually came free with HBO Max. So I was like, hey, there's a win there. That was really cool. When I got this Excel sheet set up, and I didn't have HBO Max at the time, I didn't even have internet set up. I wasn't even in this home yet. I was just setting everything up to say, hey, which way are we going to go? So the nice thing about it is still selecting prior to selecting the YouTube TV that I selected on this chart when I came into this house. When we signed up for the internet, the HBO Max, I was kind of trying to think, well, what do I want to add to my YouTube TV? Do I want HBO Max? Do I want something else? Do I want Netflix? I was thinking maybe Netflix or something. But HBO Max came free, so I was like, boom, done there. We got that. I will also try to figure out what I think about HBO Max at a later point. So far, my wife is enjoying it more so than I am. I'm usually staying busy at work, so I don't get to entertain myself much with the HBO Max, but there are some good programs there. Also, I just recently decided with some of the ordering and things that I'm doing, I am now a Prime member. So, waha, with the Alexa devices and things that I have in the house. Oops, sorry. Alexa over there. Hey, since we're doing the ordering on the Amazon, we're doing all this stuff, we're going to go ahead and do the Prime side of the house. It comes out to, when I do the Prime and looking at the numbers at, I also have Prime on this thing too, but when I did the numbers doing the pay for the whole year at one time, it comes out to like $9 something a month. So it's not too bad, and you get other perks related to the Amazon side, yes. I'm now basically, which is really good, I've got my YouTube TV, I've got my HBO Max, and I've got the Amazon Prime video side. So I've got a lot of stuff in there that's a lot of content that I'm going to be probably quite happy with for a long time. I picked the YouTube TV, I got HBO Max, I've got Prime. How do I get it from the web and area and into my house? I made a mistake. And the mistake was, I knew that I needed a device, but I got the wrong one by accident. I have a bunch of Amazon stuff. I should have got the Fire Stick, but instead I ended up getting the Roku device. Now, when you go and look at all your streaming devices, and what am I talking about? There is a device that you plug into your TV, and as long as you have an HDMI hookup, and benefit would be a USB hookup, but if not, there's a way around that as well. Basically, you have this device and everything streams from the internet to that device and is shown on your TV. That's how you get it to your TV. You use a streaming device. The two best devices are Roku and Amazon. Now, I picked the Roku. I got actually two devices. I got the 4K and I got a 1080p regular version, not Express. I was at Walmart, they were there, I was like, hey, let's get these, and they were like 40, 50 bucks. I bought those devices, plugged them in, very easy to learn how to do, set them up, get them going. When I say I made a mistake when I got those, because I have Amazon, I should have got the Fire Stick, and then I did get the Fire Stick. I ended up ordering one of those and getting it delivered. It is now on my TV in my living room that I use mostly. I have 3 TVs in my house, which was I had one Roku, 2 Roku, and then the HD antenna on one. So now everything shifts over, so I'm going to have Fire Stick, Roku, and the HD TV antenna will be shelved for a little bit till later use or whatever. Now what was nice, at least with the Roku and also with the Fire Stick, but when I got the Roku first, is I could view my apps. I got YouTube TV, I can go look at Amazon Prime, but the one thing I can't do right now, and hopefully it'll be fixed, I don't know when, there's some headbutting and discussion, but right now, Roku and Fire Stick both will not have or carry HBO Max. They both carry HBO, but not Max. But for now, I'm a little bit more fortunate because I have the computers and I also have a tablet. I can stream on my tablet and then take my tablet and stream it to the TV. So, as it stands right now, we're cord-free. We've been cord-free for just about a month, maybe-ish. And we're pretty happy with our choices. It's been working pretty good. We can flip in and out of our local channels, watch some movies and some other programs. The YouTube TV, you know, it's basically the live version. You just have a ton of commercial channels that will have a bunch of commercials in movies and shows and stuff like that. Now, if I want to go check a movie, I can go over to my Prime. Now, what's just cool about that is if I want to get like a newer movie, go to the Prime and I can, you know, I can rent it or buy it. Whatever, you know, some people want to buy it, I guess, but I guess you can buy it, and I don't know, whatever. So you can rent it, watch the movie for some of the newer releases. HBO Max, you can go watch some of the streaming series. it's pretty cool. There are some other series I'd like to watch that maybe might be on Netflix or something, but right now we're quite happy. But I think after a little period of time, maybe we'll, if we'll see something else kind of change or modify our decision, maybe move towards Netflix or Hulu or something else. Who knows? But right now, I think we're pretty happy with the selections we've made so far. So tell me, what do you think? What options have you done? If you've already got your streaming service, let me know what you got. Let me know what you think is the best option and best mix. Right now, I'm sitting with the YouTube TV with HBO Max because it's free, and the Amazon Prime because I needed to use it for my music and also for my delivery. So I have those three processes running off of a Fire Stick and a Roku. I like it, I'm happy with it, but I'm also new to the game. There might be other options and secrets out there. So if you know something a little bit better than I do or more than I do, hey, I'm happy to take some constructive criticism. So throw it down below and let me know. Also, while you're down there, do me a favor, hit that like button. And even more so, hit that dislike button if you don't like it. But do me a favor, if you're hitting that dislike button, that's fine. But tell me why you disliked it. Give me a little blurb in there and say, hey man, you ramble too much, you talk too much, and if you get to the point quicker, maybe we'll listen and watch longer. Whatever that means. With that all being said, this is how I went and cut the cord, and I am now basically part of the modern world of the streaming services. So again, let me know what you think, throw some comments down below, and I thank you all.